Hello everyone, Josh here back again with another book review, and tonight I am reviewing Star Wars Aftermath by Chuck Wendig. I literally just finished this one. So, if you haven't read the book yet and you want to avoid any spoilers, you're going to want to skip this video and come back later because it's going to get pretty spoilery up in here. Okay, kicking off this review, I want to talk about perspective and tense. Hear that thunder out there. Perspective and tense. Okay, this is told from the third-person perspective in the present tense, which I think would work for almost every other science fiction property out there, with the exception of maybe Star Trek. But in my opinion, it definitely did not work for Star Wars. I found that a little too casual, actually, especially with some of the dialogue and some of the voice of the narration. Specifically with words like totally and bummer. That didn't work for me. It pulled me out of universe, which is not something you want to happen in a science fiction novel. Also, the book felt very sloppy, very messy to me. There's a lot of typographical errors that should have gotten caught in the editing process, and likewise there's a lot of situational errors that really I think should have been caught. Specifically, I'm thinking of one scene where the bounty hunter Jas, she's cornered, she's in a predicament, and she's thinking through how she's going to get out, and she's like, okay, I can kick that guy, and I can jump on his back, and then use the stormtrooper helmets as stepping stones and get away. And I'm like, really? You're not writing a cartoon, man. That is a ridiculous scenario, and the fact that she even thought that was a viable escape plan, I'm like, come on. There are a couple other stylistic choices that I disagree with, and I think they really detracted from the novel. About every third chapter, sometimes more frequently, but roughly every third chapter, there is an interlude, a 3 to 5 page interlude. And there's a lot of these, and they don't really connect to the overall story in the novel at all. So they're basically just there for filler. And without those, I think I didn't add it up, but it's definitely under 300 pages. If you take out the interludes, it might be under 250 pages. And so take out the interludes, you're definitely under 300 pages. And then if you look at all the characters that they added for this book, you have too many characters and not enough pages to give them each adequate story. The other major failing is for the first new canon book that takes place post-Jedi, the fact that it didn't feature any of the big three characters is the biggest flaw with the book. You get one interlude with Han and Chewie, and it's actually the best part of the entire book. Han and Chewie, they're on a mission for what is now the New Republic. They took that from the old EU, which is awesome. I love that. But Han and Chewie are on a mission for the New Republic, and they get word that something's going down on Kashyyyk, and they decide to just blow off their mission and go help the Wookiees who are still enslaved on Kashyyyk, which Chewbacca's totally down for, and I'm totally down for. I want to read that book. That was an amazing interlude, but the fact that basically a 5-page short story was the best part of a 366-page book really kind of, in my opinion, it goes to show how flawed the overall book actually is. Okay, I think I've complained enough. What did I like about the book? Well, there was the Han Chewie interlude, which was amazing. And then there's two characters who I really liked their backstories more than their stories in the book. First of all, there's Nora. She is a rebel pilot. She took part in the Death Star run in Return of the Jedi. She was one of the pilots who peeled off during the Death Star run to lure some of the TIE fighters away. And I thought that was really cool. And then there's Singer, who is a former loyalty officer for the Empire, and he was on Endor during the battle, but when he saw the tides turn, he hid, and he later escaped the moon of Endor. And that's his backstory, and I thought that was really, really cool. And it was cool getting to see Wedge, Akbar, and Mon Mothma again. That I enjoyed that, but I really wish this one had featured some of the big three, Han, Leia, or Luke. And there was another interlude that I actually really enjoyed. There's this cult that is gathering artifacts of Darth Vader. It's like this Vader Lives cult, which I thought was really, really cool. And we get this story of they're looking to buy his lightsaber, and they buy what they think is his lightsaber from this black market dealer. And it turns out it's most likely a fraud, but they don't know that. They're just looking to collect all of the artifacts from Darth Vader. And I really enjoyed that interlude, and it seems like more than anything, that particular interlude might point to something in The Force Awakens. And the last chapter is actually particularly interesting. We find out that, well, we found out a little bit earlier that Admiral Sloane, who is actually a pretty interesting character throughout the book, I actually liked Admiral Sloane a lot. We find out that she is not the fleet admiral of what is left of the Imperial fleet. We meet him, we don't get his name though, but I'm gonna think that character is somebody of consequence in The Force Awakens later on. So I'm looking forward to seeing if anything, happens with that. There's going to be, I think, a few more books in the Journey to Star Wars Force Awakens series, so maybe he'll show up again and we'll actually get a little more insight to him. Having that mystery, though, of who is the fleet admiral, I really like that about the ending of the book. It makes me look forward to maybe a mystery being revealed in one of the future Journey to Force Awakens novels. I think that's pretty much it for this review. As far as a score, I would give Aftermath a 4.5 out of 10. I don't think it's worth the cover price of $28. I would recommend waiting for the paperback. But if you want to read all of the Journey to the Force Awakens novels before the movie comes out, you're going to get stuck paying hardcover price. Okay, let's have a book club in the comments. Whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me, it doesn't matter. Let's talk about it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the like button, subscribe for more reviews, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.